I've always found Unique to be reasonable and thoughtful. And if he is saying to sit tight while he's figuring out some things, I would suggest that you give him time to fashion a plan.
Nick's plan's being made by his dick. Fucking the competition.
Who's your brother fine ass smashing?
Rock.
This business makes for strange bedfellows, right, baby?
Hello, Miss Erica Woods. Hello, Mr.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Mr. Jamaal?
Man, pretty good, man. I know it's you've been pretty busy lately. I see you at the White House on Christmas. You're in Africa,
Yeah.
connected with the ancestors, and respect and condolences to you for the loss of Mr. Amos Pierce Jr.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go to Africa is because he's an ancestor now, you know, and wanted to make that connection. So thank you.
Yeah. I'm in New York right now. My dad's in home hospice. So
I know. Spend as much time with him, hold his hand, touch him, hold him, love him. It's the most important time, you know. So after these 10 minutes, go there.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys have a connection. Like, how's it like working as screen partners on in this project and being able to, you know, play on screen and characters? I mean, how does, you know, knowing each other off screen affect that relationship at all on screen?
Well, as actors, we've known each other for years now, you know, so it's always great when you know your colleagues personally, but it's also wonderful to create together. You know, there's a history that Snaps and Pop have that we get to talk about and we get to develop with the writers and with the directors. And so the stronger you create the world, it induces the behavior. So that's what's been wonderful. And playing off of Erica and the choices that she makes. I mean, that's the thing that's really wonderful about being an actor.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree, Erica?
I get a master class in acting every time I go to work. So I just think getting to work with the greats like Wendell and Grantham and Patina, and knowing them all off set, it just makes it that much easier. And the vibe is always great. And I'm constantly learning and growing. Yeah, I have to agree with Wendell.
Then you have someone like Makai, you know, where you see a young actor, you know, building his career at the beginning. He reminds me of the freshness and the choices that you have to make. You know, don't kind of like lean back on your laurels or just get relaxed or whatever, because he's always inventive. He's at a stage in his career where he's hungry. He's hungry for the work and he's hungry to explore. And he reminds me, especially at this point in my career, you know, my best days are not behind me; they still are in front of me. So, you know, it's great to work with people who are so inventive like that.
And Erica, speaking of master class, I know you got your MFA at Howard University, and they recently dedicated one of their buildings to Mr. Chadwick Boseman, the late great Chadwick Boseman. How proud are you to see, like, you know, first that Howard continues to contribute great talent, thespians, entertainers, lawyers. You know, a lot of great talent comes from Howard University in all aspects of careers and everything. But to see them, you know, follow to do that for Chadwick and how much he's meant to, you know, the world and to you know, audiences across the world, to have that building dedicated to him. How does that make you feel as an alum?
Well, first of all, I have to correct you, BFA. I wish I could claim MFA, but BFA. And it makes me feel really, really wonderful. I did not know Chadwick. He was my fraternity brother, but he was a little younger than me, but just an amazing human being. And for them to recognize that for his family, it just says a lot about the university. I had some of the best days of my life at Howard and met some of the most amazing people that are still in my life. So I think it's wonderful. Howard can do no wrong in my eyes.
And a little bit away from Raising Kanan, I mean, we're going to come back to it, but both of you guys have done a lot of work on the stage. Of course, most recently, everybody's recognized you, Wendell, for Death of a Salesman. But when you see all these hybrids coming out with the color purple and the piano and everything that's been coming out from the stage to the screen. How do you feel about this new age of entertainment where it seems like, August Wilson and like from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, all these things are now being converted to the silver screen. Like, how does that make you guys feel as thespians that's shined on the stage?
Well, that's one of the natural order of things. What happens with every generation, it feels new, but it's been a part of the relationship between theater and film going all the way back to the beginning of the film industry. We look at, there was a time where a play was successful on Broadway or in New York, it automatically was adapted into a film. Some of the most famous films that we have, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and was a play first. Streetcar Named Desire. Did you see the original production or did you see the film? And then you have something like Color Purple, which was brilliant because there was the book that then became the film, that then became the musical on stage, that is now another new film. And so it just reminds you that good story and good creatives and good talent can morph and change and have that same impact no matter what form it's in. I used to be a theater snob and say, "Oh, theater only, I'm only." And then I realized when people would ask me, which do you prefer, film or theater? And I said, good writing, a good story. Because no matter what form you put it in, that's the most important thing. And that's on display now with The Color Purple. Who would have thought that could be a musical, first of all, and then the musical becomes a new musical film. We haven't had musicals, in the film. It's been a resurgence. So you have American in Paris from the 50s, Guys and Dolls from the 50s. And now, here in the 21st century, something like La La Land and now The Color Purple. It shows you that the big MGM musicals we thought were a thing of the past are just as future forward as anything else in contemporary. So it just lets us know as artists that we have a multitude of opportunities to do different things. As artists of color, it shows you that you can do even more, that we've just scratched the surface of telling our stories in all kinds of different ways, So I was talking to a director just last night about, I'm in preparation to do Othello. And he directed Papa Enseu, if I'm saying his name correctly, in Hamlet. And we were talking about how they had gone to Ghana to prepare for Hamlet because he set it in a Ghanaian kingdom with Papa Usea. So I'm getting off the track. It just shows you the multitude of opportunities that the resurgence of all these types of different films and plays coming together shows you how many platforms we have.
And speaking of characters, I mean, all right, Pops and Snaps, I mean, Sasha and 50 and everybody like created this whole universe. It's like an MCU with power and all these different facets of power. And now, enter y'all two characters. What do you guys see your characters adding to this great multiverse that's been created, and how does it feel to get the reaction of the Powerverse fans, which is kind of like a Marvel type of, just like they had those Marvel fans, the streets really feel all this power universe. So how does it feel like to now have that social media, people just like hanging on to every episode and waiting to see what happens next, who gets killed, all this stuff. Like, how does it feel to be in that world, with these new characters?
Man, I have to jump in because the best compliment I ever got, I was walking into my building and this lady was like, Auntie Pop, Auntie Pop. I was like, oh, wow. And that to me, that's more than gold. That people see us as their auntie and aunt, auntie and uncle, and just the depth, like seeing our characters grow. People aren't what they seem in the Power universe. And I just really love what we're going to do with these characters and where these characters are going. And kind of coming from a maternal type of vibe. And I think it's really cool. It's expanding a lot of the different characters.
And for me, the thing that I love is the fact that you see a different type of person. You see the old school. I love being from a different generation, but understanding that there's a certainty to how you do business and how you play the game. The game may not change, but how you play the game is important. And I'm bringing a new perspective, another perspective. The thing I love about Snaps is people will underestimate Snaps. They think he's just, the beloved OG. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Yeah. You've had, and before we go, you've had so many iconic characters, of course, everybody loves a Bunk, but you've had, I think, 118 credits, and you go back to like, Hawk and Equalizer. Me and you go back to, Get on the Bus. But is there any character that was harder to get away from, harder to divorce after playing than the rest out of all the great characters you played?
Well, they're like your kids. You can't love one more than the other. So I love them all. But it's always the best fun to explore someone new. And so right now, my whole world is revolving around Snaps because I'm still learning him myself. And what happens over the course of time is you build the character starts to speak to you. Like, don't do that. We wouldn't do that. Do that, make that choice. And so when you're creating that character more and more, and I'm trying to make him different from everyone else, they start to speak to you. So the more specific you are, it speaks to you. And the more specific you are, the more universally it's appreciated. So right now, man, the world revolves around Snaps.
What's up? Well, Pops and Snaps, Erica and Wendell, always love talking to y'all. Great to see y'all in this series, and can't wait to see, wherever these characters go, wherever you guys go as actors, off onto another screen or onto another stage. I'll be following you guys, and much respect to y'all for your time. And thanks for going to speak to the ancestors for us all, Wendell.
Yeah, thanks, man. And blessings to you. Blessings to you.
For your
I'll keep you in
dad.
prayer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamaal.
Thank you, everybody.
Jamaal